Welcome, everybody. My name is Kiki Lovelace, and I'm the owner of Interstellar Pilates and Yoga Studio here in Berkeley, California. And I'm also the founder and lead mentor of the Thriving Studio Owner 12-week Business and Energy Mentorship Program. And today I have a very special guest, is one of my newest grads, Melissa Barton, and she is a wonderful Pilates teacher and Pilates studio owner and has had some incredible breakthroughs, which we're really excited to share with you guys today. So welcome, Melissa. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
My
name is Melissa, and I have a Pilates studio in Atascadero, California. I've been the studio owner for almost 3.5 years. The studio's been open, though, for 12.5, so I'm sort of new-ish to the game of being a studio owner. We specialize in working with clients who have injuries and chronic pain or acute pain. Most of our clients age range from 45 to 85, so we kind of cover a big spectrum of people. I was so excited to join your course and implement everything I've learned. So yeah, ask away, I guess.
Awesome. Well, I would love for you to share, just so that the folks who are watching at home have a little more of a sense of your business. Tell us about like the kinds of offerings that you guys have. I know you have different levels of, different kinds of students that come in for different services, and tell us also about your staff. Just give us a picture of what is your current business look like?
Okay. We do privates. We have group classes. We only have one mat Pilates class. We don't have a huge following for that. How it works at our studio is we always require a minimum of 5 privates before people can join into a group class. A lot of people choose to, stay with privates, of course, depending on what they're working with and what they want to accomplish. We just recently implemented our tiered membership model. We were strictly packages, so I was excited to get that actually into play. We still do the package model for our privates, and then you asked me one other question and I forgot what it was.
I forgot too. So let's keep going, because I'm just got mesmerized by you talking about your pricing model. I actually kind of want to touch on that for a second, because I know a lot of the studio owners who are probably watching this video are working with the system that we all learned, by looking at other studios, which was the drop-in and package pricing model.
Right.
And so this is one of the things that you and I worked on in our time together, is this new pricing strategy that really gets your most religious students on an auto pay membership. So tell us, I know you just implemented that in the last couple of months. So tell us, how is that going? How is it going over? Have they been receptive to it? Have you caught any?
I feel like in the first couple weeks, and it could have been myself because I wasn't, 100% confident talking about it. But now that it's in my brain and all my teachers know about it and everything. Oh, and I just remembered the other question you asked me was tell you about my teachers. Well, teachers, I have 4 teachers. They're all independent contractors right now, but I'm working, changing over to employee. So yeah, in the beginning, it was there was hesitation, of course, because people would ask me questions like, well, how is this going to affect me? What if I'm gone? What do I do? But now it's just for example, I had a client who she comes 8 times every month, never fails, comes out eight times. And she called me. She's like, Melissa, I don't know what to do. What package should I get? And I'm like, well, if you're really concerned about, buying the 8 package, I'm like, buy the 4. I know you're going to come 4 times. And I was like, and then just supplement in with one of the extra packages. I was like, because as a member, you get 15% off of the packages. She's like, oh, that's perfect. Okay, we'll do that. So I'm definitely, my confidence, in all of that is, of course, changing how I deal with the scenario and how I talk to people. And they just feed off of how I'm, reacting to them. So I feel like it's going well now. We're still transitioning. It was, when was it? January It's January 15th. Yeah, January 15th. So 6 weeks. And a lot of people, again, that fear in the beginning, bought an extra package before the membership started. And now all of those are kind of running out, and people are they're just changing. So it's going well.
Awesome.
I'm happy I did that. I mean, I was definitely, nervous. You never know how things are going to go and how people are going to take things. And so I'm happy with how it's becoming now.
Yeah, awesome. And you and I spent a lot of time attending to the math so that it made psychological sense to the buyer, to your customers, where they could look at it and easily go, oh, well, this is obviously the best value. Yeah. So yeah, I think people get so, us included, we all are a little spooked by change, and our students can be spooked too, but ultimately, this gives them more options in a way, and gives them really an opportunity to lock in a really good value.
Right.
And for you, it gives you that much more recurring revenue that, you can count on. So your recurring revenue, I know you're still in transition, but has it started to grow a little bit in the last 6 weeks?
I counted it today. I didn't count at the revenue portion of it, but I counted how many people have signed up for memberships. And we have 21 people so far. And I mean, we're not a huge, studio. So to me, 21, I'm happy with that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And can you tell us, on average, what is there, because you do mostly privates and classes, what is on average their monthly payment of those 21 people?
I didn't break it down, but if someone were, let me think, I would say, okay, if I average the two together, because most people did the 4 or the 8, so it would probably average around 160 then.
Yeah, okay. Okay, great. So that's over $3,000 a month that you just know is coming in. That's just the baby beginning of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see that go up over the next, month when everyone's packages do run out.
Yes, that will really start to change. I know for me, when I shifted from the drop-in and package model to more of a membership focus, we still have a 10-pack and we still have a drop-in, but we really are more focused on getting people on membership. It was I felt it in my bones. I felt my whole nervous system relax when I had, now we have over $20,000 of revenue per month, pretty much guaranteed. I know that we're going to get 20 grand in. My expenses as a bigger studio are bigger than that. It's more than 20 grand to run my studio, but that I know that that's coming in. Oh my God.
It just makes you feel safe.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been a huge deal. So, okay. So that was a little tangent, but I'm really glad we talked about it because I know a lot of people get kind of spooked about that kind of thing. But the thing about a proper pricing strategy is that it becomes really your number one retention system, and so it allows you to actually retain your customers and them to get better results because they're more committed. Right. There's a million.
I can definitely tell that people who are doing their packages, they're like, okay, well, I gotta book my 2, every week for the next few months. And I'm like, perfect.
That's so great. Awesome. Okay. So question for you. Before you started working with me in the Thriving Studio Owner Program, give us a little picture of what was life like for Melissa? What was a typical day, a typical week?
Let's see. Every day I get up which I still get up at 5:45, but I'm off to work by 7:30. I have my 8:30, I have my 9:30, I have my 10:45, and then it's business stuff for, an hour and a half, and then I have my 1:15 and my 2:30, and then more business stuff, depending on, is it here? Do I have to go out and do errands? And then evening classes, Monday I worked until 7:30. I had a 5:30 and a 6:30 at night. So I get home.
So you're working 5 days a week, easily 10 hours, 9 hours.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And some days, 6 days a week, right? Would you say?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then phone calls, people texting me all day, emails all day, even Sunday, even Saturday, So really just working.
Just work all the time.
Just working.
I know, share with our listeners, you told me a week or two ago, about you counted how many actual days off you had last calendar year.
Right. I counted and I had 7 days off last year.
And 4 of them were just to visit your
and 4 of them were to visit my boyfriend's family.
Oh my God, I know. So I know that's one of your visions for this year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Which what we talked about last was starting to work into the no working Fridays or the no client Fridays. And so I scheduled one on March 15th.
Good. I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And tell us, what do you imagine you're going to do with this no client day? You're not teaching at all.
Really, I'd like to come in, open the studio, because I love being here. I love coming here. I want to take class at 8:30, and then do whatever it is that, because every week is different and whatnot, but go over my financial things, like make that the day that I do all of those things and stay on top of my QuickBooks and make sure everything is organized in the computer and in my mind, body, and whatnot. Just do all those little things that I'm like cramming into 15 minutes in between all of my classes.
Yeah.
And then I forget to do something because I'm like, wait, I gotta get to my client. Like, I don't even remember what I've done so far.
Yes. Awesome. That sounds like a great use of that time. I know for me, it's been a real game changer to have a couple days a week where I don't see any students. Like I don't have any classes. Cause just like you, I started out teaching constantly, I was teaching privates, classes, small group classes all the time. And my business needed that. Like we didn't making enough money unless I was showing up to do the service. But it's been such a game changer for me to have more spacious days like that. So I'm really excited. I'm so glad you have it. This
I'm very excited because I know you've talked about a lot about, which I really took this one in, that we need that clarity. We need that openness to be creative and to be, to be the leader we want to be. We need that time to come up with ideas, to just be free in our brain and let it wander where it wants to go,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I want to share that. I was talking to my marketing manager the other day, and I've been having her run some various reports. Like I'll just say to her, oh, I want this piece of data. Can you go find out on Mind Body Online how to do it? And so because she's actually a little more in touch with the numbers right now, it's amazing. It's turning on that creative part of her brain where she's seeing an overview. Oh, well, this piece is working, but this piece is not. So what can we do to evolve this, this next offer or this next new student special, this lead generation technique. So I just love seeing how, even in my staff, how that's working, how that's turning on the creative problem solving part of her brain.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's great. Cool. So when, you and I actually spoke, I remember we did a little half-hour pricing strategy. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then at the end, I told you about my program, and you were like, all right, cool. Let's set up a free business breakthrough call. So, I remember that you signed up on that business breakthrough call, like then and there. It was like, I had spoken to you one week for a half hour, and then we had another hour conversation. So what in that moment made you decide to work with me?
Number one, if I just feel something, like I'm going to do it, but I feel like it was, your journey, everything that you've done is very relatable. It's what I've gone through, what I'm sure every other studio owner goes through and feels and whatnot. And you were confident in how you got to where you are now. We all have bumps and everything, but you knew how you got there, and I wanted to be there too.
Awesome. That's it's true. I mean, I feel like the only reason I can teach you guys this is because I just lived it. I lived that extreme, giving of my life force to my business, my firstborn baby, which is my business, and how that was sustainable for a year or two. But then ultimately I had to learn how to do things differently. And I really wanted to create a business that not only gave me more financial freedom, but also time and location freedom. Because just like you, I was owner operator. I was doing everything, so, and I really wanted more freedom. So I'm glad that resonated for you. So when we were working together, give us a little picture window into what were some of your biggest challenges or struggles. Was there any of the course material where you're like, ugh, hit your stuff, or any situations that came up while we were working together that were challenging to you?
Well, no, number one, well, I'll talk about the biggest challenge in just a second, but the biggest thing hurdle that I, with myself, and I've done it my whole entire life, and through this, I could tell I did it as well, was like, I can't do it. Not having the confidence in whatever it was that I was doing because I didn't know how to do it. But being in this made me more aware of that and more accepting of that it's okay that I don't know all the answers. I don't know how to get to the last step, but I'm going to start step one right now and work myself through all of the steps, that I don't need to let my fear and my non-confidence in whatever task I'm doing, stop me. I just have to keep moving and I'll get there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really saw in you this kind of inner growing of self-knowing and self-trust develop over the 12 weeks or ish that we were working together. And that was really beautiful. And just, I loved seeing how your fear of failure, which I know for you had been so paralyzing at certain times in your life, in your career, it was so beautiful to see some healing happening there, where it was sort of like an acceptance of I don't need to be ashamed that I don't know all the answers. I don't need to do it perfectly to do it well.
Yeah. I'm definitely a perfectionist. So that one's a big one for me.
I like to call myself a recovering perfectionist.
Yeah. Okay. I was talking to the previous studio owner. Her and I are really close friends. And this was maybe 3 weeks ago. And she was asking me about, how I'm feeling with the studio and how everything's going. And I was like, for the longest time, I felt like everything was ahead of me and I'm just scrambling to keep up. I was like, but now it's I feel like I'm here, I'm doing it and I can do it and everything's fine. I don't always feel like I'm running to catch up. I feel like I'm a little bit ahead of whatever's happening. It's still close, but I'm a little bit ahead of it, and it's I can do this. I can, whatever problem comes, I'm going to handle it,
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So it was fun to say that to someone else and believe what I'm saying, and she was like, you know what? I feel like that too. She's like, I feel like you're just you're doing it. And I'm like, you're right. I am just doing it.
You're like, I got this, baby.
Yeah.
So tell us about, now that you had this major issue come up in your business while we were working together. So tell our listeners about what happened and how you handled that business.
So the previous web developer 10 years ago with the other studio owner had put the website domain in her name, and again, something I had no idea about. I didn't know that the domain was different than the website. So here I am paying my website fee every month, and I think I'm good, And at the 10-year mark, when it expired, she had been getting the expiration notices. She let it expire and was very adamant on not helping me get my website domain back. So I lost the use of my website, of my business email. And so I was just in the dark for about a week. I'm trying to, contact her and say, please, just help me. Let me get my website, my email up. This is my life, my business. And if I don't have those things, it can fall apart. But, nothing was effective. So I just got a new website domain and switched everything over.
I know. I want to say that when you contacted me, you wrote me an email. I think you also posted on our member group. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, this is really big. And I was sort of tracking you, how's Melissa going to handle this? Because this is one of those things where it feels, it's a crisis, and it feels like a crisis. You're like, this this is how I attract new people. This is how I communicate. This is how I run my business is, the website and especially the email. And I was just like, I wrote you a couple, I think, words of encouragement, but I was holding the space for you of like, can she find a way? Cause I didn't know the answer, but I knew that like the prayer was like, can she find a way to dance with this? Like, and just like move this obstacle out of the way so fast. And you did, you out like the obstacle, it was all completed in like 6 or 7 days. It was like, yep, we're moving on.
Yeah. My sister and I spent over the weekend, we spent about 30 hours one weekend, like changing everything. Business cards, website, everything in my body, all of the automatic emails, like anything and everything. And then Monday I got to work and I was like, okay, guys, I'm like, new website. And everyone was like, okay. So,
that's so amazing. Yeah. It's just really impressive. I love it when, my business throws me loops like that. I have to say all the time, like unexpected things, unexpected, problems arise, unexpected expenses. And it's so thrilling when you don't let that stuff bog you down. Like you're just like, I'm unstoppable, y'all. And this is, this is the mindset we talk about in the Thriving Studio Owner program is unstoppable. It's like, okay, well, what's the next step then? If that's not going to work, what are we going to do?
We'll find another way.
Awesome. Yeah, that was such a win. That was really amazing. So after you started applying the studio owner processes, I want to say that you've seen some major changes in your revenues, and you even saw some changes in your revenues before you put into place the processes and before you even implemented the pricing strategy and the marketing strategies and techniques that I was teaching you. So can you tell us a little bit about what you came in with financially in terms of your sales and what happened and then why did it happen?
Yeah. So, prior to starting, I was at like an average of 16 to 17,000 every month, but I have to make 17 a month to, pay all the bills, to pay myself with that included. And right away, that was the end of October, right? That we talked. Yeah. And it was October, November, December, January. Every month, I said in the beginning, I was like, my goal is I want to make over 20,000 every month. Like that's, without fail. And I did every month, October, November, December, January. And I think it's like my mental attitude towards it, that like my energy is like, yeah, this is happening. And it happens. I don't know. I feel that people take in what you're giving, if I'm coming in and I'm like, it's not going to happen. Like, we're not going to do it. It's, whatever the energy is about, it's not going to happen. But if you're like,
yeah, you're right. The students sense our fear. They sense our doubt. It's not something we even might tell them about, but they
right. Because I don't talk about that, with my clients.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like this is so significant. I don't want to gloss it over because I want all the folks watching to really understand this, that before we implemented any of the marketing techniques or this new pricing model, it's like just by making the investment and then working on the mindset, which like week 1 and 2 of the Thriving Studio Owner program is really about mindset.
Right.
About unraveling your limiting beliefs around money, around hard work, around being the boss, and I know that you dove really deep into that. And, what you shared with me, which I think is so significant, is like, even by you just making the investment in the program, it was sort of like you were telling yourself and the universe, like, I'm serious about this.
Yeah.
I'm taking myself seriously as a business owner. I'm taking this business seriously. And universe responded, like literally, they responded with $3,000 more per month, that was so significant. So So yeah, so I just want to acknowledge that mindset piece was such a major, has been so far one of like the biggest things that shifted your income.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, about what you were talking about, the beliefs about what we think about money. You know, I have always internally thought that, you know, for what we do, like we're, you know, focused on our health and our emotional state and you know, helping and caring for others, that we shouldn't care about making money. But it's fair for, you know, us to be making money just like all of our clients are making money. You know, this is our livelihood, this is our passion, this is our career. Like, why don't we deserve those things too? You know? So I'm definitely, yeah, I feel more like yeah, like I do deserve those things too. You know?
Yeah. And I think claiming, you know, what you're talking about is like understanding your value, you know, and really like your self-worth, you know, and developing your self-worth and your sense of like, I am bringing value to these people, into their lives. And there's an energetic exchange that I'm giving a tremendous amount of value. I mean, in fact, you're giving a lot more value than the money that they're actually giving you, because you're giving them their body, their life, their, you know, their nervous system, their mental spaciousness and wellness and calm. I mean, there's so many gifts to Pilates. You know, so yeah, I mean, I feel like that's something that a lot of us struggle with as wellness, you know, practitioners and providers, is that, yeah, we have a story that somehow you know, we shouldn't charge for it, or we shouldn't need it. You know, we shouldn't be focused on it. And I think that puts us in this position where we get in a position where that's what's happening, is like, we're not getting paid for it, you know, and a lot of us studio owners end up working so hard. Like you had told me that with the amount of hours you were working per week, you were making like minimum wage pretty much, you know, really tallied it up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no, I'm so glad to hear that. And that, to me, that's so inspiring, that just your mindset alone can increase your revenues by $12,000, you know, like in a 4-month period. I mean, that's nothing to shake a stick at, you know?
No, what, I can't remember what it was from the previous year. I looked at it and averaged out a percentage, and it's not coming to me right now. I feel like it was over 20% what we increased from 2018 to 2017.
Oh, wow. So you grew your business 20% in that 1 year?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. And that, you know, that from 17 to over 20K, that's 20% right there. So you're on a roll, baby. I love it. Great. So let's see. What can you speak any more to in the program, like what new skills or insights or maybe breakthroughs gain? Is there anything else that you want to share with our?
One of the biggest things that I've never understood, I've never had an interest in it, is marketing. Like, I don't understand how it works. I feel it's like mind-boggling to me. But one of the biggest things I took away is that I've always had this fear of, if I like narrow our niche down too much, that no one's going to come. Like, we're going to miss out on all these people. But so I really took that in of narrowing it down. And I have started with my ads. I'm including, you know, our specialty, what we work on. And we're obviously working on changing our website and everything, so I can incorporate all of that into our website, into our signage, into our, just everything, you know, my posts that I do on Facebook, my posts that I do on Instagram, you know, really making it talk to the people that I want to talk to. You know, like you said, that if you speak, I don't know if it was you said it or someone else, but if you speak to everyone, you speak to no one.
Yeah. If you market to everyone, you're marketing to no one. I know.
Yeah.
And absolutely. And that's the position I think a lot of us get in, is we so want to be of service, you know,
to everyone.
We feel like everyone should do Pilates or everyone should do yoga, you know, but then what happens is, you know, when you're not, I mean, the truth is, you already had a niche when you came to me, you just weren't owning it. Like when you and I had a conversation about that, we sort of like peeled apart the layers, and you told me, well, this is what I love doing. This is the kind of person I love working with. And it was a very clear niche, actually, you know? So I love it that now we're just communicating in your marketing assets what you've already been doing for years, you know, and now my hope for you is that this really changes the game for you in terms of attracting your soulmate students. I'm positive you're going to get more and more of those people who, you know, love your business. They're like religious, like your woman you told us about in the beginning. She comes like religiously twice a week. You know, she's more than happy to pay whatever your prices are, no complaints. You know, those soulmate students, because they're so fun to be with.
Yeah, because they support you in whatever you do, and it just feels good when you have people like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got one more question for you before we sign off, Melissa. Can you give us an idea of your big vision for what's next? Like, we want to know about your income goals for this next, say, 6 months to a year, your time and location freedom goals, because I know you have some of those, and any other kinds of goals that you have around expanding your business or, you know, expanding your revenue streams. Like, share with us your dreams for what's next.
Yeah. Well, of course, you know, more time to run the business in a thoughtful and meaningful way that brings about the things that I want, you know, the people that I want, and the teachers. You know, I love my teachers, but just meaning like, and what I want from my teachers, you know. I want to consistently get that 20,000 every month. That's what I want this whole entire year. I want to incorporate I liked what you know, our conversation about making every Friday, not just once a month, my day to do what I need to do to keep the business where I want it to be, you know. And I'm still, you know, working in my mind of like, what can I give away class-wise, private-wise, you know, to diminish my teaching time from 25 to 29 classes a week down to 20, you know. And then I do want to expand in the space that I'm in. We're on the building that we're in. We have the whole downstairs. We're only 980 square feet. It's not huge. But I want to be able to take over the upstairs. I saw the landlord not that long ago, and I was like, Bob, if that space becomes available, I want it. And he was like, oh, okay. So I put it out there, not just to myself, but to him. So I'm glad that he knows that now. I want to start incorporating more events and workshops and whatnot at the studio. I haven't, you know, we do a handful of events throughout the community, but I want to do my own. Like, I want to put it on. You know, I don't want to just tag along with, you know, the other people's events, which those are fun, but I want to do my own. You know, I want to do all the details and provide something for our community. Let's see, what else do I want? I want to...
Okay, we want to hear one of your goals for your free time.
Oh, for my free time? I want to exercise more. I love exercising. I love taking Pilates classes. I want to do that more. I love taking privates. I want to be able to do that more. You know? I want to go on vacation. I didn't really, obviously, go on vacation last year. My last vacation was 1.5 years ago. So I want to do that this year.
Oh my gosh, I love your list. All of those things. I actually am 1,000% confident that you can do those things. You know, I think your 20K a month is like easy peasy. I want you to go higher than that. You know, like, I feel like the potential here from what you just described of like expanding your space, having more events, all those things, there's a huge potential for you to make more profit, you know,
Right.
and to serve your people, to serve your community and your teachers. So I just see such good things for you in the future, Melissa. And I want to thank you for being here with me and with the other studio owners watching today. And it's so fun to hear your story and hear about your studio. Can you share with everybody, if they are in town, what city you guys are in, and also your new website so they can check
Our new
out
website.
offerings?
Yeah, we're in Atascadero, California. We're halfway in between San Francisco and Los Angeles, right on the coast. Well, pretty close to the coast, we're only 20 miles away from it. We do privates, we do group class, and again, we have one mat class only on Saturdays. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. And for you studio owners.
Oh, my website. I never said that.
Oh yeah, tell us.
Forget what we were talking about. It's NC-Pilates. So our studio name is North County Pilates, but nc-pilates.com.
Fantastic. Thank you, Melissa. So studio owners, if you are interested in my Thriving Studio Owner 12-week business and energy mentorship program, yes, you can also get these results of changing your self-confidence and changing your revenues and your income, as well as being of service to your community and to your community of students, of staff, and even like all of them. Like, it spreads out from you out through them, your students, and all the way through their families and their communities. So this is about impact, and it's also about income. It's also about creating a life and a business that is truly enjoyable for you. So if you'd like to talk more with me about that, open up your browser right now and type this in, kikilovelace.as.me, M-E. This is a link to my personal calendar, and I want you to book a time for me this week or next week, where we'll get on the call, a business breakthrough call. It's a free session, and we'll talk for about 60 minutes about your business. I'd like to learn more about it and find out if what I'm offering could be of service to you, could actually help you achieve your financial and time and location freedom goals. So get on my calendar and we'll talk then. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.